Oh, the beautiful sights and sounds of Komorebi. This wonderful game made by Clace is absolutely entertaining, and I absolutely love this title. Guys, go check it out. It is available on Steam. Check out the Steam-powered website. The deluxe edition will get you both the game and the really beautiful soundtrack. So go check it out. Those who are checking the VOD, I hope you're having a wonderful day. We're going to continue on and starting up this wonderful adventure. Ha! Why wait any longer? Let's get this thing on the road. Let's load. Where were we? We got a couple hours here. Oh, that's right. We had all these pivotal fragments loaded. And then this one here, which is Chiron, we haven't seen yet. So let's click on the next event.
Experience culmination fragment. Wayfarers.
This should be interesting. No more journals. So let's check this out. Azure Lupine, hello. Had all sorts of fun storm last night. The tree up the street was hit by lightning. Oh my god, that must have been loud. Thank you for choosing Argus. Our future, your way. Or is it your future, our way? Anyway, we're here at the Wayfarer, this wonderful little bar. Things are getting interesting as Chiron was basically hacked into the system, so to speak. As soon as we enter the Wayfarer, we were asked to show our ID. Of course, we all oblige, except for Isaac and Chiron. I can see that their infiltration was already successful. The security guard gives us a nod as we each scan our phones. A picture of our face and name pops up, which he compares to us in person. Obviously, we pass, and a few moments later, we are officially in. You gave up on VR after the second power outage? Oof. Oof, I'm sorry. I haven't been in VR in a while. We still have an 18-hour VR chat marathon that I have to come up with a date and time for. Unfortunately, my work is not cooperating, so hopefully I might be able to get a request of something in the future. By the way, before we continue on this game, Eric is going to be coming up to Minnesota in September, and we will be doing some little bug eating challenges and the ice bucket challenge. We are going to be recording the video, and then we'll play it on stream later, which is going to be super heckin' epic. I can't wait for it. Let's continue. It is an interesting sight seeing Isaac and Chiron sitting at the table. A zero, breaking bread with city folk. Is this how things were before Komorebi? Hello, Lana. Good morning to you. Back then, before the system, everybody could have existed in unity. Of course, that's just wishful thinking. I know the truth. The world was on the brink of an all-out war before the visions came. I guess there will always be conflict and social divides no matter what. It's almost like we are fixated on our need to be different or superior. At least that's the way Argus thinks, making the zeros grovel in the streets. I would never look down on Chiron, and even public opinion supports the zeros. Perhaps we are approaching unity for the first time in history. The sight before me only enforces that this peace is attainable. What better way to find peace than to look for common ground?
Took your sweet time, I see.
Hello there,
We're not
Isaac.
living in the fast lane like you.
And Taylor.
Huh, should I slow down?
Ha.
Nah, wouldn't be nearly as fun.
We all pull out a chair and sit down at the table.
So, you all want a round?
More drinking. Why? Oh, jeez. You think these guys' livers would be dead by now?
I'm down.
You too.
What do you recommend?
Oh my goodness. And that would be Dante on the left and Chiron on the right.
A screwdriver would be nice.
What are you gonna fix yourself with a screwdriver?
I don't know this drink.
I think it's like vodka and orange juice. I'm not sure.
It's like orange juice and vodka.
I know nothing about drinks, and that was a complete guess. Wow. Okay.
What's vodka?
It's potato. It's fermented potato. That at least I know. No, not a screwdriver. Not this early in the morning. You will be slamming down your ass. Oh my god.
It's like
it's not
orange
tasty.
Juice and happiness.
You think it's happiness, Taylor. Vodka to me sounds atrocious. I prefer potato in its other forms like mashed, covered in butter, sour cream, chives, bacon bits, or perhaps deep fried and turned into, pommes frites or something like that.
Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't drink. I don't drink, Grey Wolf.
Round of screwdrivers then?
Oh, jeez. I'll just take the orange juice on its own. Thank you. Please leave out the vodka. We all nod, implying that it's time for Chiron to go. If he ordered and got ID'd successfully, then we'd be in the clear. It feels like such a risky play, but Isaac's confidence is contagious.
This better be a real drink. If you're pranking me, I'm gonna get you back.
Cross my heart.
Oh, don't hope death.
Hope to die?
No!
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, thank goodness.
We'll see.
Oh, my goodness. He leaves the table and starts walking toward the bar.
He sure likes a joke about Argus killing us, huh?
Yeah, it's almost disturbing.
Joking about serious stuff is a valid way to cope.
Maybe? I don't know if I agree with that
Gotta be a
100%.
better way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said valid, not the best. Speak for yourself, guys. I don't mind my life being used as a punchline.
Oh, jeez.
That is the most Isaac thing you've ever said.
God, I love this fucking game.
Speaking of Argus, I have a question.
And that would be Clay's.
What's up?
Clace is looking down at his diary, but keeping it turned away from us. I can see his eyes scanning the pages like he's catching up on notes.
Remember that incident report you mentioned? Are you sure you didn't notice anything weird about it?
What weird incident report?
Almost certainly.
All right. Did you check out my profile?
What's going on?
No? I'd never snoop.
Yeah, snooping is bad. Wouldn't want you seeing all the mischief I get up to.
Oh boy. Joking about serious stuff can be a good way of coping, if it's warranted. Fair.
You? Mischief?
Yeah, you don't look like you got the face of mischief. You look like you have the face of innocence.
It's quickly becoming my middle name.
Really? We all look at each other for a moment thinking the exact same thing. I guess I didn't read the room here.
Wait, what is your name? I know it's definitely not Clace.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Wait, what?
What is it then? Hey, don't pry like that, Dante. Unless you want to tell us your real name too.
Oh dear. Wait, what?
Hitting the brakes.
Alright, pumping the brakes.
Thought so.
I guess Dante isn't his real name either? Oh well, I still call him by his chosen name. I would honestly say that if you have a chosen name, a name you prefer to be called, I think that's more valid than the name you were given by your parents. You should have a name that you feel comfortable with, not a name that feels forced upon you. They offer the same courtesy by calling me Delta, after all.
I guess I was just curious what you saw. Did it flag me as my real account or my burner account?
Burner, for sure.
Oh dear.
Good to know.
So you can just sweep everything under the rug when you're done. He scribbled down some notes in his diary. It's so interesting how lost he seems to be in that thing. A diary or a journal is a good thing to have, if you want to, get rid of your thoughts. But I used to do stuff like that, and then years later when I opened up that journal or diary and then I just read it, and it was so cringe, I just trashed it. Anyway, I didn't know any better. I'd actually find it a little suspicious. As a small silence ensues, I decide to ask him about it.
Oh, this? It's just for memories. So I can look back one day.
Yeah, I don't like looking back. I like to leave the past behind me.
Maybe we could take some pictures or videos?
Well, those can be spread all over the place. This is strictly private. For my eyes only.
That's fair.
That's fair.
I called it. How am I picking up on some of what they're trying to think about? This is crazy.
He's probably writing about how annoying we are.
Maybe.
Maybe how annoying you are. I wouldn't even complain.
Before the conversation continues, Chiron returns with the tray. As he places it down on the table, I get my first look at the screwdrivers. They were barely even orange, like a glass of vodka and a splash of juice. These things are gonna kick your ass.
I told you they don't mind pouring extra.
Oh my god. It's more like a shot of vodka.
Yeah, guess I'm off the deep end here.
Yeah, I'd say so. He grabs his glass and holds it up with a smile.
Ready to get this started?
Oh dear. This sounds very, very dangerous. They're gonna have a hangover that feels like there's a bolt stuck on their forehead. Oh, absolutely no. Those will knock you on your butt that way. Yep. Pretty much. I'm going to save because I'm paranoid. The screwdrivers are half empty by now, and I can feel it in my head. As I warned you. I definitely don't think I'll be drinking as much as I did at the nightclub. Glances are exchanged as stories of the good old days are told.
Didn't know you were that into cosplay, Dante.
Hmm?
Oh, yeah, of course. That's actually how I ended up meeting Isaac. He had a bit of a fanboy moment when he saw me.
You did now, huh?
Wait, what's cosplay?
Costumed roleplay.
Costume play. Like dressing up as others.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. He strikes a pose like he's thinking. I mean, yeah,
So if we traded clothes, we'd be cosplaying each other?
in a sense.
Well, not really. We're not fictional characters.
From my perspective? Never mind. Hmm.
You know, sometimes it feels like I am.
Yeah, well, I could see that.
Huh?
You're basically playing as a character, not as yourself.
You know, putting on an act while I perform and keeping that persona going during interviews.
Mm-hmm. Fourth wall break? Kind of.
Oh, makes sense to me.
Hmm.
So I could cosplay as Clace?
Yeah. You're being a lion on the internet. That's a lot of dimensions. I am very dimensional. Wait, what does that mean? I don't know.
There's no way you could pull his stage outfit off.
Are you sure about that? I mean, it's got panache.
I reckon I could pull it off in a couple different ways, actually.
Show us.
Wow, you're all so smooth. I'm flattered. But we were talking about Isaac's fanboying.
No, we definitely weren't. That phase of my life is so over.
I can attest to that one. He was pretty timid by the time he met me.
Hmm.
I never actually heard the story of how you two met, though I imagine it's a low point in the saga of our universe.
Hmm.
Probably the lowest, yeah. I was working and he basically broke in the front door. All he said was, "Help me!" But that's all I needed to hear.
So you two basically started at ground zero.
You do seem to have a penchant for helping people in need.
Well, altruism does, I think altruism is a quality, definitely.
Makes it
yes.
easier to fall asleep at night. But yeah, a bunch of fans were chasing him down. So I let him hide in the back of my store and I drove him home.
That's nice of you.
How did you know he wasn't just some creep?
Hmm.
Well, he is.
Fair.
But I knew his intentions were pure. And even if they weren't, I've got a bat in my trunk.
Is that a threat?
Like you could take me in a fight.
Lol.
I couldn't. Hence the bat. Actually, it's still in my trunk, even today. So, make sure to remember that next time you cross me.
Oh boy.
Sheesh.
That's getting a little
Do you always
sharp
talk
there.
like this? I mean, it kind of seems like y'all hate each other.
You hate each other because you love each other. Is that right?
Actually, hate is now a valid form of love.
Way to confuse Chiron here.
Well, then I'm head over heels.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I hate you too.
What are even these personalities, man? Taylor blushes and the subject is abruptly changed.
How'd you meet Delta then?
Hmm.
Oh, we've been friends online for a long time. We were chatting on and off throughout all these stories. As soon as they mentioned they wanted to move, I invited them over.
Which is pretty cool. I met Vertigo drunk at a furry Halloween party. He said I was cute and wanted to keep me safe or something. Aw, that sounds awesome.
One big happy family, huh?
Yeah. Chiron is such a fish out of water, poor pup. I mean, even Clace had admitted he's a fish out of water.
I'd say so.
Hmm.
Aren't you forgetting someone?
He tilts his head towards Clace in an inconspicuous fashion.
Right. I actually met Clace through Taylor's stream. Figured I'd offer to house him while he took a break from work.
Hmm.
And then there's me.
I keep saying you'll bring a lot of stories to the table.
Trust me, you already have. We talk about you quite a bit in the group chat.
Oh, boy. Uh-oh, I feel a sneeze coming on, Jet. Sneeze, go away.
Good things, I hope.
Sure, let's go with that.
Am I allowed to join it, by the way? You piqued my interest now.
Let him in.
That's a hard maybe. Let me think about it a little more.
Oh, boy. So just remember that Chiron was basically added to the system using some sort of what I would consider a backdoor method. Like equivalent to Clace's burner account. So basically Chiron would be kind of swept under the radar, you know? But adding him to a group chat would put him in a more meticulous network where he could be found and discovered. So since they're trying to be, you know, obtuse about it, you know, or just kind of work their way around things, they want to test the waters before they just dive right in, of course. So still a bit of a risk. I don't think they're going to add a Chiron anytime soon.
All right, then think away.
All right. Hey, Vikitsny, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're playing some Komorebi. By the way, guys, if you want to check out Komorebi, it's on Steam. Clace did an absolutely wonderful job making this game. Yes, Tall Werewolf. Kyle, how you doing? It is the furry game. I am in love with this game. The characters are just so beautiful. I love the story, the design, the emotions. It's so riveting. I honestly think that this is like one of the best visual storytellers I've ever played. Clace did a freaking amazing job in this. Oh, you finally moved to your new house. I'm not homeless. Yay! Being homeless sucks. I've been there. So, congratulations on getting a new house. Alright, continuing on with the game. Kyle, I hope you're having a good day. He grabs his cup and chugs the rest of the drink.
Hey, y'all down for a game?
Sure.
What'd you have in mind?
What game?
Well, there's something we used to play back on the colony. It'd help us to get to know each other better.
Should you bring up the colony in here?
Really? We played a game like that at the nightclub last week. I'm down for more, though. It's fun to learn all about you.
He grips the pen in his hand, and as he speaks, he's ready to write more.
I'm game.
I am so down.
Sounds good to
You
me.
like this game? Tell me more.
What are the
Alrighty.
rules?
Okay.
Pretty simple, but we can make it more interesting. How about I grab another round? Yeah, you know, for punishments.
Let me guess. We have to reveal private information about ourselves. And if we don't want to, then we risk getting blackout drunk.
Something about this round of gaming seems to be
Hey,
risky.
you'll be spilling your guts either way.
Just stopping in to say hi. All is good here. I'm glad that you came in. I really appreciate it. It's about 10:20 in the morning here in Minnesota. I didn't sleep very well last night. I was on and off. Maybe 4 hours of sleep at best. And I'm like, I want to play a game this morning before I go to work. So, Komorebi it is. Actually, I'm going to be doing more Komorebi streams down the road too. So, we're going to have some fun with this. I like this game. I love this game. Anyway, spilling your guts either way. Oh, jeez.
Gross.
With a smirk, Chiron goes off to order us another round. I assume Isaac loaded his account with some money to spend, because those round of shots must be like $60. Wait, how much is like a shot of vodka and orange juice? Or mostly vodka. Oh, I've been to Minnesota land before work. Nothing exciting, just Edina. Well, I mean, Edina is just south of where I work, so I'm pretty familiar with the area. It's actually pretty cool how I'm learning about life in the colony. They even have games to learn about your friends, just like we do. In fact, I'm willing to bet that the game Chiron wants to play is pretty similar. I finished the rest of my screwdriver and wait as a return. Every minute that passes, I'm more confident that we're in the right. All of the zeros should be able to express what they've given Chiron. Whether by cipher or August hands, it needed to happen. Ooh. With every passing moment, the game gets spicier and spicier, but I have a feeling things are about to get even more dicey. Gonna save. Alright, there we go. A second screwdriver sits in front of me as Chiron looks at us with a smirk. How many times is Clace gonna use the word smirk? It seems that we'd be playing questions game again, but with some colony flair. It makes perfect sense, of course, taking a zero meant learning about their culture. But it seems like technology aside, their culture isn't too different from our own. So no matter what was about to come my way, I think I'd be prepared.
All right. Okay, this one's called Raise Your Hand. I'll explain the rules and take the first turn.
Okay. We all nod.
When it's your turn, you make a statement. Raise your hand if, and then finish the sentence. If the statement applies to you, you raise your hand.
Oh, kind of like Truth or Dare, maybe in a way. If a story doesn't get dicey, it wouldn't be a story. True.
Seems simple enough.
Okay.
It's kind of like Never Have I Ever.
Ah, yeah. Yep, you picked up on it.
There's a bit more to it than that, though. You get to ask a follow-up question afterward, like why someone raised their hand, or even why they didn't.
Oh.
Great. Can't wait to be put on the spot again.
Poor Taylor.
This could actually be a bit more entertaining. No cards to play by, so we can go for the throat by default.
Oh, yes.
Please don't.
Well, I think Chiron's stepping up to bat. How about we let him set the tone for all this?
More than fair.
I'm planning to keep it pretty simple, actually, at least at first, so I know you're telling the truth.
Huh?
All
Okay.
right, but when do we drink?
I think Taylor just wants an excuse to drink.
I didn't think that far ahead. I just thought it'd make things more fun.
How about if we're caught lying? Or if we refuse to answer the follow-up question?
Oh.
I'm down
okay.
for that. I'll just be sipping, though. Got to take it easy after the nightclub last week.
Oh, yeah. You're probably still processing all that liquor.
And to prepare for the quantum leap. New Year's Eve is always a big day for booze.
Oh, my God. Taylor. The rabbit is low-key cute. I mean, he is. Taylor is just adorable. I think Taylor was voiced by Michael Kovac.
Good thing I helped you carry all those bottles home, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't have done it without you, man.
Yes, indeed. He holds up his glass before taking a sip, like he's saying, cheers. Hello, Fuki. Greetings and welcome. We all do the same and then look over at Chiron. It was time for the game to begin.
Raise your hand if you think your visions are set in stone, like literally fate, impossible to change.
Well, considering that Delta... Ow! Fuki, what the heck? Delta did not have a vision, so Delta can't raise his hand. This one's pretty easy for me since I've never had a vision. But almost everything I know tells me that they aren't set in stone. This is mirrored by the fact that nobody raises their hand. I guess he wasn't lying when he said he'd start with a simple one. But even lie detector tests start with some easy questions to ground you. Oh, yes. Good old polygraph tests. It was for peace of mind, so he knows we're taking things seriously. He smirks. That's another smirk for us. Like it was, the test was effective.
Kind of figured as much. I can tell you don't like being told what to do, whether it's Argus or even your own future.
That's fair. No one likes being told what to do. Everybody wants to feel like they're in control of their lives. And can you blame them? Not really. Sorry, channel lingering excess chaos from Aaron there. Oh, you and Aaron. Oh, great. Well, thank you for the kissy. I think you... Ow! First you kiss me, and then you throw a hammer at me. Gee, thanks.
Yep. We even made a pact to defy our visions. Didn't like the fact that we weren't a part of each other's.
A pact? Really?
Yes.
Yep. Well, except for Delta, of course.
Yeah, except for me. Well, me as in the game, me. Chiron looks at me a little confused. This is when I tell him I haven't had a vision.
Oh, really?
Oh, now he's even more curious. He laughs nervously and rubs the back of his head.
But I'm not sure how to take that, so either my condolences or congratulations.
I think freedom is a congratulations. 'Tis but a love bonk? Yeah, sure, Fuki, sure. I shrug. It doesn't really bother me being the odd one out. But it makes me feel very left out when topics like this come up.
I think I'm going to choose Clace for my follow-up.
All right.
Me? Really?
Yeah, Why don't you think our visions are real? Surely you're still a pop star in your own.
I guess.
Well,
But...
Well, it was still my choice to pursue this life. It's not like anyone held a gun to my head and told me to sing.
Then why did you?
The comfort and security, I guess? It seemed a lot less risky than my other options. But at the end of the day, I still had those other options.
Yes. What did the Merovingian say in The Matrix Reloaded? He says, choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without. And then the Oracle said something along the lines of like, having a choice or the illusion of choice gives you the comfort of that you're in control. Now hang on, Justin, the hammer was Fuki's doing, however, they did beat me to the punchline. But
So it was more like a blueprint that I chose to follow. Or maybe it was like following in someone else's footprints. I still have the power to turn around and forge my own path.
Do you really, though?
I think I've already said enough. Remember, it was one follow-up question?
Oh, fair. We all agree with a single nod.
Well then, who will go next?
I have a pretty good one, actually.
All right, Dante, what do you
Go
got?
for it.
A smirk appears upon Dante's face that I can only describe as evil. More smirking.
Raise your hand if you've slept with somebody at this table.
Oh. Oh my. Obviously, I don't raise my hand. But to my surprise, Isaac, Taylor, and Clace all raised theirs. Oh. All eyes are on Clace despite the fact that multiple hands are raised.
Hey, Isaac and Taylor raised their hand too.
They live here. You've been here for like a week.
I
Oh?
hate this game.
Good morning, Dabbing Menace. How you doing? He takes a big sip of his drink, an advanced refusal to answer any follow-ups. Oh, things are getting spicy and dicey. The entire table bursts into laughter, obviously, except for Clace. I feel bad for him. All he did was be honest with the group.
Hey, I got a good one. Less embarrassing, at least.
Yes, please.
Isaac smiles and preemptively raises his hand.
Raise your hand if you think we're doing the right thing.
Now, is that easier or more difficult, I wonder? Remember the conversation I had earlier about what's right and what's moral? The thing that Captain Picard had to deal with concerning the Borg? He tilts his head towards Chiron. A moment later, everyone raises their hand.
Unanimous, huh? Well, I'm kind of flattered.
Can't be surprised, though, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all in this together.
I would say it's the right move.
Whether we like it or not, I might add.
Add what?
Yeah, but we're doing the right thing for sure. This time, the right thing just happens to go against Argus.
Yes, but I'm not a big fan of corporations. Oh, by the way, for those of you listening in, did you notice that Isaac's fur colors match that of the colors for Argus?
Right. Well, I guess it's time for my follow-up.
He looks directly at me and points his finger in a dramatic fashion.
Why do you think we're doing the right thing, Delta? It was a tie between you and Chiron, but he's kind of biased.
Yeah, he is. Ooh. We have options. Let me read through these. Society has to move forward, even if it goes against the status quo. Unity is important. We should celebrate our differences, not punish them. Argus is too old-fashioned. If they don't adapt, they'll just become obsolete. Or I think everybody deserves a chance to start fresh, just like me. Or it just feels like this is what we're supposed to be doing. These are some very valid responses, and I think any of these could go well. You know, we're talking about society, talking about unity, talking about Argus being old-fashioned, or talking about how everybody deserves a chance to start fresh. You know, I kind of like that answer. All the rest of the answers feel good, but I think the idea that I think everybody deserves a chance to start fresh, just like me, I don't know if that type of response is you know, too much pointing at myself. You know, I'm gonna choose that answer. I'm gonna see what we can do here. I think everyone deserves a chance to start fresh, just like me. Everyone nods and smiles at my answer.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I actually dig this game, Chiron. Good idea.
Don't mention it. Gotta repay you somehow, after all.
You know, I've got to hand it to Clace for the writing in this game, because the character of Delta has hints of his personality that are present in the other characters. Like, he could relate to them in some way, shape, or form. And I think that's a good thing. We're kind of like the glue that bonds all the other characters together. A moment later, Clay slaps his hand down on the table.
Oh, I got one.
Oh, this ought to be good. I wonder what Clace is going to say this time. Sorry, seasonal allergy disorder. As one deals with on a regular basis. It's starting to get warm outside. I might have to turn on my AC again. All right, Clace, what do you got? What do you got?
Raise your hand if you think I should sing karaoke.
Yes, absolutely. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. A curious question, and nobody raises their hand. What? Nobody raises their hand? I would totally love for Clace to sing karaoke. He was probably checking out if any of us thought we're under suspicion. What a clever way of checking in with the group while remaining under the radar.
Well, then I have a follow-up for Chiron. How'd it go when you ordered the screwdrivers?
Just as expected, actually. Scanned my phone, heard a beep, and I was good to go. Could have used a hand with a tray, but I understand.
Oh, gotta love the validation. Everyone here kept doubting me.
I was a little scared, to be honest, but you definitely know what you're doing.
Where did you get the money from, or did you just deposit money into his account? I mean, is that something you can do in the future? You could just, like, share money with people by, like, tapping your ID phones or whatever?
Yeah, I'm kind of a prodigy.
That's a little narcissistic.
Yeah, slow down, Isaac. Anyway, who's next?
I wouldn't mind taking a turn.
Okay, Taylor.
That's a good idea.
I don't know him that well, and even I agree.
Hey, I promise to play gentle. I have a good question, I promise.
All right. Soft Bunny decides to make a statement. A silence ensues as if it's a challenge for him to prove his words.
Raise your hand if you're jealous of somebody at this table.
Jealous? Ooh, what would we be jealous of? That wolf from Hyrule, hello. How you doing, you bean? You can do that now. It's exactly what Venmo and Cash App are. Oh, yes, indeed. You know, fun fact, when I was at Anime Detour, I didn't realize that they actually needed cash, and all of the ATMs in the area were empty. There was no money available in them whatsoever. So I did what I call the ghetto ATM. I basically went to a random person and said, hey, you got any cash on you? I will deposit money into your PayPal for trade with cash, and I'll put a little bit extra to pay for the service fees. So basically I treated another person as an ATM just so that, like, they would be neutral with the money that's being exchanged, or a little bit positive because I'm giving them extra for the inconvenience. It actually worked out pretty well. It's kind of nice. Fantastic. Did 2511 steps on my rove through my site. Oh, wow. That's a lot of steps. That's a pretty good one. In unison, everyone raises their hand.
Kind of figured as much. We're built to want the stuff that other people have. But now, I gotta figure out who to put on the spot.
Oh, Taylor. We all seem fine with the answering, so there's no easy target.
Let's go with Clace. My curiosity is getting the better of me.
Oh, Taylor, what are you doing?
Again? Really?
Poor Clace. I just want to give Clace a hug. Oh, my God. That's security for you. Lots of walking? Indeed. I think the most I've ever done in a single day, as far as walking is concerned, I played Ingress for 18 hours straight on my phone. I had a big old battery pack with me, a 28K battery pack. And I did 24.4 miles in a day.
To be fair, you didn't answer last time, so I think this is better. Less embarrassing, too.
Ooh,
That's fair.
yes.
But honestly, my answer is all of you. I'm jealous of everybody at this table.
Why would you be jealous of us? Okay, seriously,
Even
why?
me?
Especially you. This whole idol thing can really take its toll. It's like living for somebody else instead of yourself.
Worth it? Yes and no.
When my hiatus is over, I have to get back to work. But all of you get to keep on living this awesome life. They'd never let me walk the streets or go to a tavern.
Pausing the game for a moment, I think it would be better to limit myself to like 5 miles of walking a day, as opposed to having one day out of the week doing like 25 miles. Because if I don't pace myself, all I do is I ruin a good pair of shoes and my legs just go numb.
Looks like we have more in common than I thought.
You know, and that could be kind of a symbolism there. Just because somebody was born and raised on a colony doesn't mean that they don't share some characteristics with people who were born within the system of Argus.
I mean, neither of us are fully in control of our lives. We're governed by circumstances outside of our control. With me, it's the system, and with you, it's the industry.
So there's some similarities there.
I'm honestly surprised they let him take a break. Time is money, and now they're losing plenty.
I'm sure they'll recover. Got a lot of song ideas floating around in my head, too. If anything, this hiatus is just a big rush of inspiration.
And this goes for any content creator, honestly. Musician, artist, video editor, Twitch streamer, whatever. A break is good to take every now and then, especially just if you need to reset your mind.
I could go for one of those.
I mean, I went on a 6-year hiatus before I started streaming again.
Is the writing getting hard?
Always is.
And honestly, I think, you know, content creation should be more about passion and being happy with what you're doing as opposed to feeling like you're forced and obligated. You know, I can relate to one of those on the right. Lately, I've been feeling trapped and stagnant in my life, like I'm living doing stuff for someone else instead of living my own life, with pink hair. Yes, yeah, I totally agree with that. You got to do things for yourself. Sometimes it's okay to be a little selfish. It's okay to be a little selfish because if you don't take care of yourself, if you're constantly giving into other people, you're going to burn yourself out. And nobody wants that.
Cheers to that one, man.
Yeah, this esteemed gentleman, this handsome individual on the right with the pink hair and the black hair and the pink fur, that is Clay's. Let's see, kind of did make the decision this morning. Hopefully we'll change things for the better. Here's hoping, man. Here's hoping. Cheers. They hit their cups together and the small ring echoes.
I guess it's Delta's turn now?
Oh. Well, that's true. Everyone else has already gone. But I'm not sure what my prompt should be.
I'll call a stalling rule if I have to.
Different game, genius.
Take your time, Delta.
All right. Give me a moment to think. Yeah. Or if you're more high class, hey, whether you have a glass of champagne or a glass of beer or just a glass of water, cheers all the same. Ooh. Now, the bottom one, I'm not sure I want to choose. Oh, thank you for the hydrate. I just grabbed my water. The bottom one says, raise your hand if you think Cypher will defeat Argus. That seems a little too direct. Maybe you should go for something a little bit more subtle. Raise your hand if you're keeping a secret from the group. I don't really care about secrets being kept. Because, honestly, some things I just don't need to know as if they don't affect me. Raise your hand if you go out on a date with me. It seems a little, yeah. Or raise your hand if you think I've been called a positive addition to the group. The second answer I kind of like because there's a little piece of me that's curious, but yes, it is a little forward. It's all the forward. I'm gonna start up in the top. Say, hey, raise your hand if you think I've been a positive addition to the group. Everyone raises their hand. I kind of thought as much. That was probably one of the most must-lie situations anyway. But out of curiosity, I asked Dante for some elaboration.
Well, you've definitely made things more interesting. Living alone with Isaac was starting to get a little stale. No offense, of course. It's just good to switch things up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take any offense. Besides, I told Delta the same thing. We're all a bit inspired after the last week.
Yeah, it can get tiresome doing the same routine over a period of time. It's always good to switch gears every once in a while.
And just for the record, I feel the same way about Clace and Chiron. I could tell they were asking the same question in their heads. This group is not only bigger, but better than ever before.
I think we'll work well. There might be some rough times ahead, but I think there's more good than there is bad. Everyone smiles, even though Isaac kind of hijacked the conversation. I'll let it pass. I'll say this is okay. I'll allow it. I'm satisfied with my turn, so I nod, signaling that it's time to move on.
Anyway, what happens next? If I'm not mistaken, that's a full round.
You are correct.
How about we finish our drinks and take a break? Wouldn't mind stretching my legs and checking out the tavern.
That's fine.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, breaks are good.
Regroup in 10?
I might go touch up my eyeliner. How about we just regroup when we're ready?
Fine by me.
Okay. We all stand up and go our separate ways. I look over at Chiron, and he's drawn to the dartboard. Do they have that kind of stuff in the colony? I wonder.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Chiron 1.
Ooh, yes, let's do it. Why would I want to select no? I must know more. Alright, let me click on the save here real fast. I assume that these OCs are voiced by their players. Yes, Chiron is voiced by Jonas Scott. Casey Mangelo does Clace. Michael Kovac does Taylor. Jesse does, I believe, Dante. And Sean Chiplock does Isaac. I decide to approach Chiron while I have some time away from the group. Even though Isaac explained everything, the man himself was still a mystery. It'd probably be helpful to learn more about him and life on the colonies.
Hey, Delta, watch this. Yeah, I'm calling a bullseye.
Hey, what? Oh, so the characters are voiced by others, yes. Sure enough, a moment later, he hits the center of the board.
Score.
Wow. I'm impressed. He gives me a big smirk. That's more smirking. That's like 12 smirks in the last 2 rounds. And he turns to face me. I ask him about the colony life and if they had darts.
Now, of course. If it doesn't rely on technology, we probably have it. City folk who move to the colonies always bring new ideas, too. I've actually seen a lot of people abandon Argus. The colonies are nothing if not welcoming.
That's nice. He walks over to the dart he just threw and pulls it out.
Wish I could say the same about the city. No matter where I go, I feel so many eyes on me, and I know they aren't just admiring my good looks.
That's a little vain. So how should we respond to this, chat? At least I don't have to worry about with that our other group. Or when I look, it's definitely to admire your good looks. Or I'm sorry you have to go through that. I hope we can change it. You know, we just met Chiron. I swear if that wolf smirks again, I'd smooch him. Fair. I'm gonna be nice right now. I'm not gonna be for it. I'm gonna be nice. At least you don't have to worry about that with our group.
True. You do give me a certain sense of security. Of course, the private jet sure isn't hurting anything. I like watching the news, too. It's only a matter of time until I see that headline. Either Argus loses or steps up.
You know, I think it would be a corporation's best interest to step up.
I doubt they'll go down without a fight, though. But right now, their inaction borders on negligence. People are starving to death, right at their front door.
Not good. Didn't know you were a mod for Justin? Oh yeah, Grey Wolf's been a mod for like over a year now, I think?
And where I come from, you never turn down a neighbor in need. I feel like we could teach you city folk a lot about life. It's a bit harder when every day is a struggle.
Yeah, I think the day's been blending together there, Grey Wolf. But it's okay. I appreciate all my mods. Whether they're, here for a couple days or if they're here for every stream. Every day is a struggle. I ask him something that's been on my mind this entire time. The people who abandoned Argus, did they ever seem to regret it?
If they do, they never really show it. I think they know what they're signing themselves up for. They're usually super happy at first, but then it starts to fade.
Yes. Neon? I don't recall, but yeah, Neon is, yeah, you've been in his channel for quite some time. God, I've known Neon for like 4 years now, I think? 3, at least?
I don't think that means they regret it or they're depressed. It's more like a honeymoon period where they appreciate the freedom. The city may be beautiful, but those walls are definitely suffocating.
No Hylian? Anyway.
Once they can truly breathe, it's almost like they have a new lease on life. But, just like all things, it quickly becomes normal and turns into routine. Day in and day out, life on the colonies never changes. It's a cycle that's definitely absent in the city. As much as Argus controls you, it's still so chaotic. I never really know what's waiting for me around each corner.
I wonder if you're questioning the idea of becoming part of the system.
It's definitely not Argus agents, though, and that makes me happy. At first, I figured it was only a matter of time before we got kicked out, but seeing the public opinion slowly sway it's actually pretty shocking. We always thought your views aligned with Argus. Gotta say, I half expected that apple you gave me to be poisonous. It was a big risk, letting you and your friends know that I'm a zero.
It's, okay, first of all, I hate labels. Labels suck. The idea of a label, like talking about someone as if they're a zero, an outsider, a nobody, that's terrible. They're a person, right? It's just, you go up to a person in the streets, you know, begging for food. They're still human. I still take care of them. I'm concerned about them. I mean, what's to say that, you know, these people don't know things that I don't, that could teach me some incredible lessons in my life. Everybody has value. Yeah. No, I don't think this wolf is kind of being a dick. I think this wolf is opening up his mind, showing me, you know, what his life was like. Honestly, I think Chiron's interesting.
But it's a risk that paid off. Let's hope they continue to do that, yeah? Our lives aren't exactly risk-free. Yet.
You know, people are more than just a number in a corporation. I think this kind of parallels society in a way, right? The social score you get from Argus is like the credit score you have in real life. Your credit score has no bearing on who you are as a person. Like, it has no bearing on your trustworthiness. People who have bad credit scores are people who just got screwed in life. You know, they accumulated debt and they just try to make it and get by with whatever they had. And some people don't have a credit score at all. They weren't able to establish any credit because they didn't have money to begin with. But then there are those people who have millions and billions of dollars that don't need a credit score because they can just buy stuff outright and not feel like it. Chiron is in the slip before he met the group. Yeah. He was tasting the booze that fell onto the street, and we're like, no, dude, you're a person. You should be cared for. Nobody should be drinking booze off the street. Yeah. I like how he threw the word yet in there. He definitely believes in the same goal that we do. Harmony between societies, a true, genuine give and take.
Anyway, sorry for the rant. Now that I can talk, I guess I don't feel like stopping. On the streets, I was almost too scared to say a word.
That's fair. I asked him what made him speak to us then.
Desperation, I suppose. Or at the very least, hunger was a good motivator. But after all this time, I can't help but feel guilty.
Hey, if you're hungry, man, I get it. I get it. I've been approached by people before. I'll tell you something. I'll just go on a little tangent here. I go out to eat every so often, right? And then there's this Lian Chin that's nearby my work that sometimes they'll have this buy one, get one. Where I buy a tray of food, I'll get a tray of food for free. And I'm thinking like, oh, maybe I'll just give it to a colleague because obviously I won't eat all this food. But then I came across this Hispanic person in the streets and, you know, he was like desperate. It's like, you know, do you have any like money or anything like that? And I said, well, I have a spare tray of food and a spare Pepsi here. Do you want that? And he says, yeah, I'll take anything. Like, this guy was truly desperate, right? Anything. But when I gave him the food, you know, I felt a certain satisfaction. Like, this person clearly wasn't swindling me. He was genuinely in trouble. And then I watch in the distance as I'm at the stop sign, he walks back to his 2 kids and gives the Lian Chin chicken and rice to his kids. Like, how does this person have nothing and he's got 2 children? That's not even fair. I can't even afford to have children. And this guy's on the street with 2 kids? There's something wrong with that. So I'm at least glad that I did something nice to that person that day. It let them survive another day, if anything. Now, the world can be very messed up, and it is. There's so much imbalance in this world. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. And I see a lot of parallels in this story, Komorebi. That's probably why I'm drawn to it so much. Guilty? How so?
Well, I don't want to brag, but I'm pretty resilient. I reckon I could last a lot longer without food than some of the others, so in my mind, sometimes I wish you ran across somebody else.
Yeah, maybe. But all the good moments make it better, even if a little. Cherish even the smallest moments. Anything. Cling on to that hope. He looks a little sad, but it's completely understandable.
And if one of my people do starve to death on the streets, I know that in my heart, I'll just wish it was me instead. So let's make sure that doesn't happen, all right?
We don't want you to starve, dude. I obviously agree, since our goals are the same. We all wanted the conflict in the streets to end without death. It just seemed to be seen as who acted first, Argus or Cypher. It was like a standoff of the Old West. Both ready to shoot, but living the moment where neither gun is smoking. We're just the observers wondering which one will be left standing.
I gotta say, though, I feel like my life is complete these days. It's not like I never dreamed of living life in the city, you know? My vision just told me that it would be an impossible dream.
The sad thing is that if Argus and Cypher ended up fighting each other, there would be no winners. There would be all losers. Right, in his vision, he's older and still living on the colony.
When I first had that vision, I was absolutely devastated. It's like my future was taken away from me. At least the one I wanted. Made me feel like giving up. Like any attempt at fighting it would be worthless.
If I had a future vision that said I would be living homeless in the streets, nowhere to go and nobody to talk to, I wouldn't accept that. I would completely reject that idea. That you should have control over your life. War is not about winners, it's about survivors, you know. War doesn't determine who's right. War determines who's left.
It took me such a long time to accept what I saw. Spent so many years trying to prove it wrong and see the city. I remember the first time I got to see what was behind those walls. I'd go into the forest and try to find the tallest tree. When I got to the top, I'd peek over the walls. God, it was always so bright and lively. I almost cried. It was actually kind of pathetic. Just a simple reminder of what I'd never be able to have. I'd look at the people with a mixture of jealousy and hatred.
Yeah.
They were kind of small since I was so high up, but I saw their faces. And they all seemed happy. I knew that a lot of struggles we face on the colonies didn't exist for you. And because you weren't aware of that fact, you'd always take it for granted. It sucks so much to see people live your dream and not even appreciate it.
Yeah, that's true. I can imagine that would be difficult. Hello, Melodica? Furry? I was a furry once. They put me in a room. A fluffy room filled with beans. Beans made of furry. Furry? Oh my god. You just had to put that in there, Melodica. Such a merp.
One of my favorite things to do was watch planes take off, just soaring the skies between cities. What an amazing sight. Told myself that one day, I'd get to experience all of that for myself.
Well, in a sense, you got a taste of that.
Despite my vision saying otherwise, I kept pushing forward. So I hope you can understand what I mean when I say I feel complete. Living in the city, being on a plane, it's just all I ever really wanted.
I think a lot of us just want stability. To know that you won't struggle in life. Like for me, I don't care about having a Taj Mahal or giant gold faucets in my bathroom or a big $1.5 million Bugatti. I don't care about any of that shit. All I care about is just not having debt, not having bills, not struggling every day in my life, you know? I mean, I have food in my stomach, but I go to work all the time. I should go to work just to know that I'm going to have the money needed to take care of myself. I shouldn't go to work hoping that I'll get the money to take care of myself. My battles are mental and emotional. We have a lot of that stuff, man. I feel you.
We always suffer for the choices of those that came before us. I never really got to know my parents, but I think that's for the best. I was stuck there because of them. They'd be an easy target for my hatred.
Man, the more I listen to this dude, the more I just
And having
wanna
an
give him
easy
a hug.
target for your hatred just stifles your own growth.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why Argus and city folk are still so old-fashioned, clinging to this belief that the system makes you superior.
I never felt like the system or city life made me feel superior. Makes you feel like you're not in control, right? The Argus is like, oh, it's all propaganda. It's like, I don't want to bring up too much political stuff into this, but the idea that you're not in control of your situation just makes you feel worthless.
And that's why I'm certain I've chosen the right group. This might sound weird, but there was something different about you. Not just you, but the rest of the gang too. I felt like I could approach you. It was the first time I ever got friendly vibes from someone in the city. So when I picked up on them, I had to take action almost immediately. Even if I get caught, at least you helped me check a few things off my list.
Well, at least we could do that for you.
No matter how short or long this lasts, I still got to live in the city. And not only that, but I got to be inside a plane too. It's all thanks to you, Delta. Can't deny it.
We gave you a taste of the good life. It's the least we could do.
I guess I'm just glad that I didn't have an easy target for my hatred. It allowed me to grow and meet people who I can love and appreciate. A real, true group of friends. I don't think I'll ever forget you or the rest of them.
Okay, Chad. I'm going to ask you. Should we be loving to this person? Say, you know, we could try being more than friends? Or should we just be friendly to him? We're happy to have you. Let's hope for a happy ending, too. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. But there's just some part of me that doesn't want to be too forward. But, you know, I think, in a way, not having a vision is kind of a little bit of freedom from the system. The second, then? Okay. Or flip a... you know, okay. I'm going to be friendly. I'm going to be friendly with him. It is kind of a coin flip, though. Let's hope for a happy ending.
Yeah, the happiest one we can snag. I feel like we can achieve it if we really try. Didn't you and your friends make a pact to beat fate?
Yeah, we're going to beat fate. We definitely did. They weren't a fan of their visions. I suppose that unites us all with a common cause. Living life the way we want, seizing our own future.
Living life the way we want. Yeah, that's perfect. No mysterious corporations governing our daily way of life. Just us and our friends. Maybe one day, even lovers.
Aww. Lovers? I can't help but wonder if he's referring to someone in our group.
Anyway, thanks for the chat, Delta. You want to head back to the group and keep this night going? It's still pretty early. Maybe we can all raise our hands again.
I could go for that. I nod since this seems like a pretty good stopping point. Now that I know him more, things seem completely different. There's no longer a sliver of doubt that we're doing anything wrong. Chiron was just like us in that he should be able to live the life he wants. Whether that was the city or the colony, it should be his choice to make. I still have some questions for Chiron, but nothing immediately pressing. It was more of like, how did he get in the city? Or him and a friend must have had ties to Cypher and Hermes. But from what he said, I doubt it's him. Must be someone else. We sit back down at our table, and the group quickly assembles. But the man who felt like an outsider now feels like a true friend. Hello, Metamorpheus. How you doing? Hey, bullseye! Heart to heart, Chiron 1. Very cool. I'm going to save. There we go. We were in for a night that would just be as memorable as the nightclub.
Nothing like a nice little breather. I take it you're all good to keep going?
Indeed.
I could go all night long.
Yay.
Yeah, bring it on.
Got a nice game of darts in, actually. Maybe we could go head-to-head sometime?
Ooh, and you're kind of a sharpshooter there,
Oh,
Chiron.
I'm really good at that.
You are?
Yep.
Never would have guessed.
What's that supposed to mean?
Ooh.
I don't know, you just have a certain aura.
Okay.
Like an aura of bad aim?
Sure, you're right on track.
Oh, are you taunting him?
You should have seen me on Taylor's stream then. If you want to talk about bad aim, talk to him.
Hey, don't throw me under the bus like that. I was just going easy on you, since you're new.
Okay. Oh no. Wait, what are you doing? Ah, Gramwolf, why? Ah! Well, enjoy your new lion plush. Please make sure to brush his mane every day and keep it nice and clean. Classic throw your friends under the bus move.
There's no way you were going easy. I could see the panic in your eyes when I came for you.
Ah.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to admit that you're better. He says the same thing no matter who he loses to.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Sorry, Taylor, but the truth is the truth. At least your viewers tune in for you, though. Your personality is the winner, not your skills.
That's it. Clay said it. Personality. That is the big key thing for being a streamer. It's mine, my own, my precious.
Well, I can't exactly be mad after a compliment like that. You're right, though. We all have our own strengths.
Yes.
And weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Definitely got my fair share of those.
Oh my.
Says the self-proclaimed prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
Just that pride at play, I guess. But I know I'm good at what I do.
And you have living proof of that now.
Yay. He points to himself in a display of pride.
Well, Isaac didn't do all of that by himself. He had a little help from you-know-who.
Plenty of help. And this is a lesson that has been imparted onto us many times. No one succeeds alone. There is no such thing as a self-made person. Everybody, at one point in their life, had to have help to get to where they're at today. Period.
Yeah, he basically stole the joke and got all the credit. As much as you thank Isaac, you should thank Hermes, too.
Well, then if I ever meet this Hermes, I'll give them my regards.
Let's just hope that it's not behind bars.
Yeah, no kidding.
Couldn't be that bad. A prison cell or city walls, it doesn't even matter. You're all stuck in here, forced to live life the way they say.
He brings up a good point, actually.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, but it also happens to be an awesome, luxurious life, so even a prison cell would ease a lot of my struggles. In fact, it might even be a welcome change.
To think that prison is better than your current situation. That's sad.
They can't do that, though, right? You gotta be in the system to have a criminal record. With no digital logs, you're almost like a ghost.
For me, they probably can. At least now.
He holds up his phone.
Right. But all your friends?
Not sure. Seems like new territory for Argus, too. That's probably why they haven't actually responded yet. New situations call for new rules and protocols, right?
Sounds about right.
It's really weird, isn't it? We're like right on the verge of history. Almost feels like the world is standing still.
Indeed.
Yeah, especially for me. Remember, those are my people out there.
You know, if your people out there are anything like you, I imagine there's some great people.
You must be feeling a little hopeful, though.
Kind of finding it hard to feel that way. Especially when the news keeps doing what it does. Fishing for sympathy views, showing all my people starving.
Ouch. Hello, Mauro. Thank you for the hug. Oh, aren't you just a sweetheart? Here's a hug for you, Mauro. Here you go.
I can imagine it's tough, yeah. But there's one major takeaway here, and it's something important for the whole world.
What are you on about?
It's something we've always wondered, but we never knew. But with everything going on now, I'm almost certain of it.
And what is that?
Argus isn't invincible. If they were, we wouldn't even be here right now. The cracks are starting to show, and we can all see it.
I imagine that it is inevitable for Argus to crumble. Its foundation is pretty shaky.
I guess you're right. Didn't expect to get this far, at least.
And even if we lose, it's not really the end. There's always someone who's willing to stand up. Whatever we can leave behind will be invaluable to them.
Yep. You dealt a hard blow, and there's more to come. Empires eventually fall. This is true.
Just like Cypher left the blueprint for you to follow.
Exactly. We should come up with some sort of failsafe. You know, a set of files to leak if we end up getting caught. Something, anything to let people know what we did and how.
Well, that sounds like a good idea, but that could easily fall into the wrong hands. Because that failsafe could be your downfall. I would say approach extra cautiously with this.
What happened to all that confidence?
No, it's still there. This is purely worst case scenario.
I found it odd that we're talking about this stuff in the open. As I was kind of hinting at earlier. But it's not like this place is packed or people were listening in. You never know. It's August. They could be putting microphones and security cameras everywhere in the city. It's also clear that the bartender was out of earshot, so it's not a big deal. Although it's smart to plan for the worst, it was still a little unsettling. If we could leave behind something useful, though, then it was a good idea. Some ideals passed down from generation to generation before becoming the norm. As much as I'd like to come out of this unscathed, there's always a chance that we may have to pass the torch. With everything Isaac had said, though, I think he's uniquely qualified for the task. And that is what garnered most of the trust I have for him. A man who can make the impossible happen is the greatest threat of all. Especially against those who, in their arrogance, see themselves at the top.
This is all certainly cheerful and uplifting, but remember, we were talking about darts. Yeah? Starting to think you're just too scared to challenge me.
Well, are we going to hit the mark with this one?
Oh, I certainly am. I wasn't trying to hide it, though.
Yeah, I think Clace is the one that challenged you. And from what I experienced, he does know how to aim.
Oh, so we have two very skilled players here.
Right. Sorry for getting sidetracked. You still down to face him, Clace?
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
Huh? Everything good?
He looks around clearly nervous. Pen in hand, he was scribbling in his diary.
Well, remember when I asked if I should sing karaoke?
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, but none of us think we're in any danger.
I'm starting to think that we might be.
Wait, what?
Huh?
What's wrong?
Oh?
Well, when I asked, I noticed a few people staring our way. It's been a while, but they haven't stopped. It's creeping me out. Especially now that we're talking about matters at hand.
Oh,
Aren't you
boy.
famous or something? I mean, even I catch myself staring from time to time.
Well, this is a bit different. One or two people usually turns into a crowd. Especially as they tell their friends and post on social media.
Yep. Gossip spreads like wildfire.
But that hasn't happened here. They just keep staring. I think that's enough for me to point it out. Have you noticed?
Who are these people?
Can't say I have.
Don't have eyes on the back of my head either. This is on you and Chiron, man.
True. Only Clace and Chiron could see over there. Even in my seat, I don't have the right angle to take a look.
Yeah, I noticed, but I'm used to people checking me out. That fact aside, there are people looking our way.
What do we do?
We can still hang out at home.
Doesn't matter to me. Especially with all that alcohol we took from the club. If we can stay safe and save money, that's a win-win.
I would say so. Zach Owo-Uwu, welcome to the Lion's Den. Thanks for coming in. I'm hoping you're enjoying your day so far. My name's Justin. Nice to meet you. Playing some Komorebi, available on Steam. How you doing today?
So I have to sing then?
Sing.
I mean,
Do
it was your idea.
I think it'll help us out no matter what. If they are fans, then they'll appreciate the show. And if they're Argus, then it'll distract them while we slip out.
Wait a minute. If it is Argus, then what happens to me?
Wait, what?
Hey, it was your plan. Didn't you think it through?
Uh-oh.
Thinking things through isn't really my strong suit. But don't worry, I'll sing and then meet you back at home. I guess my main priority was your safety instead of my own.
Sure about this, then?
Yes.
Absolutely. It was the plan after all. I can't just back out because there's some uncertainty.
It's my first time here. Well, welcome on in, Zach. Good to meet you. I hope you're enjoying the stream so far. He smiles.
I learned that one from you, Isaac. If you gave up, we wouldn't even be here right now. When things get difficult, you just try even harder.
So, if you guys aren't familiar with this game, Komorebi is a storytelling game that was designed by Clace, which is, to me, one of the most beautiful titles I've ever seen in a video game. I believed in Clace so much that I became one of his backers. He had a number of backers, and then we were gifted a code from Clace to play this game. And I am just enthralled with it. So the next several streams that I'm going to be doing in the future are going to be all Komorebi until we finish the game. I'm hoping you're enjoying this as much as I am, because it's kind of like getting to flex my voice acting muscles with reading stuff. But I am enjoying this. I love the artwork. I love the direction, the design. I love the music. It's such a treat. It's such eye candy. It's so beautiful. Oh, Foo, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. How's it been doing today?
Yeah, been doing that a lot lately. But thanks for the distraction, Clace. I'll find us a route home that's drone-free.
Yeah, just popping in to say hi. Good to see you.
Isn't that a bit extreme?
It's been a journey. Yes. Journeys are fun.
Not if Argus is watching us, no. The first thing they do when we left is check the streets. Those drones can scan our faces, remember? We'd stand no chance.
That's fair. So, the party continues at home.
Sure looks like it. Hate to cut things short, but I think we need to.
But you know what? It was a fun little event, fun little outing, and we got to know a little bit more about Chiron.
Hey, Clace, can you promise me something?
What's up?
Please sing us a song at the Quantum Leap. I'd love to stay and watch you now, but yeah.
Sure thing, Dante. I'd love to. You're expecting a big crowd, right?
Yeah, and it's private property. If anyone seems suspicious, we'll kick them out.
Sounds good to me.
He stops to think for a moment, and then scoffs. Off to the gym, have a good stream. I'll pop in back afterward. Oh, cool. We're only going to stream for roughly just under an hour. Good luck at the gym. I haven't really gone to a gym. I hate exercising, if it's anything to go by.
On hiatus, and I still end up performing. Somehow I knew this would end up happening. You're all free to go, though. Your savior is here.
You know, Clace, there's a difference between performing because you have a job to do and performing because you want to have fun. I guess he really is acting as our savior. He's the only one that can cause a natural distraction after all. But I do worry about what might happen if those people were agents of Argus. They'd never do something to an idol performing in public, would they? It definitely seems like this is the best possible distraction for us to use. A night of safety in our home definitely beats a night under our prying eyes. Or under prying eyes. Ugh, I can't read. Kind of ironic when Argus already watches us most of the time. But there's something about those specific four walls that make it seem safer. So if we should be anywhere right now, it should be within those walls. Clace approaches the karaoke stage and chats with the operator. A few moments later, he steps on the stage and we start to make our way out. It looks like for some reason we'd be leaving through the back door. I assume it has something to do with Chiron or the position of those Argus drones. The four walls,
Hey,
yes.
well, I wrote this one a couple years ago. It seemed to do pretty well, so I hope you enjoy.
Does this mean we get to hear you sing?
Advance this text box to start the song, and advance the next one to end it.
Okay. Oh, this is Bulletproof Heart. Very cool.
Afraid, I've lived my life being afraid to break these chains.
Ooh. You guys should totally listen to this on Steam. If you get the deluxe edition, by the way, ! Komorebi. Check out that second link to the deluxe edition, and you'll be able to get not only the game, but the soundtrack as well. This is called Bulletproof Heart by Clace. Isn't that wonderful? Holy smokes, Grey Wolf with the 5 tier 1 gift subs. Holy crap. Thank you so much. We got a tier 1 gift sub to Omnistruck, Running Noodles, Full Effects, Z-Girl81, and Sparks VRC. Heck! Thank you so heckin' much. It's absolutely wonderful. Your generosity goes a long way, dude. I really appreciate it. That helps me pay my bills. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. As much as I would love to listen to the rest of this song, we're going to advance to the next part of the scene. Guys, please go check out Bulletproof Heart by Clace. You know, I am actually curious if it's on iTunes. If not, I'm going to have to ask Clace. Hey, is your stuff on iTunes? Or can I put it on iTunes for you? Bulletproof Heart. No, it's not on Apple Music. I should send Clace a message, say, hey, do you want to put your music up on iTunes? I'll help you out. All right, Bulletproof Heart by Clace. Super awesome. Let's advance. What a really cool song. I want to buy that song now. Damn. No, actually, I've already got it. But I want it for my iPhone. I'll have to put it on there through iTunes somehow. Anywho. Let's save. That was cool. As soon as we exit the tavern, we start following Isaac. He has his head buried in his phone, trying to find us a safe route home. The drone coverage must be extensive. It's surely a feat to dodge them.
Hold on. We should be safe in this alley for a few minutes. I'll calculate the rest of the route and send Clace a screenshot. At least then he'll know how to get home without being seen.
Oh boy.
We all agree though, right? That wasn't Argus, just some fans.
Can't say for sure. Even then, we need to err on the side of caution. I can take a deeper look at my follow-up interview.
Alright, be right back. Okay, Wolf.
You're still planning to go to that?
Of course. I have no reason not to.
Well, we're currently running in fright from Argus. The last thing I'd want to do is walk into their HQ.
Yeah, good
I
point.
guess that's what separates us then. No need to panic unless I'm given one. I just want Clace to feel safe while he's here.
That's fair.
You know, this is the only downside I've noticed about city life. You're all terrified of Argus, while the Zeros take a stand.
That's a great point, actually.
Hey, us city folk are taking a stand too.
Yeah, behind the mask of Cypher. Whoever this Hermes is, they're kind of a coward.
Ooh.
Hey, that's not nice. If it weren't for Hermes, you wouldn't have that phone. It was their blueprint that I used to beat the system.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shouting out something like that in the streets.
Whatever Hermes is planning, I'm sure it'll work. You're living proof that Argus isn't invincible. Knowing that can make all the difference.
You got a good point.
Yeah, and their inaction only makes them look scared. But it's still smart to be cautious, especially right now.
This is true.
And remember, this conflict is going to end in a week or two. Argus only has a few possible moves, and most play into Cypher's hands. The only one that doesn't is forceful removal. But I doubt they'll resort to that.
It depends upon what benefits Argus. Because when it concerns big corporations, sometimes small losses lead to bigger gains, and they are not afraid of small losses.
What makes you so certain?
If Argus wanted to rule with an iron fist, they'd already be doing it. Giving us a score and letting us control it. There's some trust there. It might not be ideal, but it could be 1,000,000 times worse than it is.
It's a pretty big assumption to make, Taylor. Like they treat their enemies the same way they treat their subjects.
Wow.
They might not have a choice.
You think so?
Well, Argus has so many eyes on them right now. I'm guessing they don't like the taste of their own medicine. They'll probably take the option that society wants the most.
I'm thinking Argus might play this in such a way that they'll put just enough control into the people's hands to make them feel like that they're winning.
And public opinion is with the Zeros.
Exactly.
You know, he's not wrong. In fact, he'd know more about that than anyone. When you're on a platform, you need to please others, even more than yourself.
Indeed.
As easy as it would be to kick your friends out, it's not the play. Their next move, or lack of one, will affect how we see them. For once, they have to factor in other people's feelings.
Yeah, I count on my viewers to hold me accountable. If I ever slip up, I want to hear about it so I can correct it, and ideally stop myself from slipping up in the future.
Yep. Same with my chat. Same with my viewers. Same with my mods. You know, if I do something goofy, you guys are quick to put an end to it.
Awfully responsible, Taylor. Never would have expected that from you.
We are all a bit startled, not even noticing that Clace returned.
Whoa, where'd you come from?
Clace is slippery.
Oh, I started to follow your route and heard you talking. Things went fine, by the way. No one followed me.
Well, this is good.
So they were just fans then?
Here's hoping.
I'm not sure. I got out of there before I got the chance to tell. The owner actually recognized me and helped me sneak out. Of course, not before giving me a few shots in the house.
Ah, damn. I was kind of hoping we'd find out for sure. Sometimes not knowing things is just way worse.
Yeah, that can kind of make you feel a little jittery.
Like I said, I can take a deeper look at my follow-up interview. But remember, I already looked earlier today. We're clean. I doubt anything changed in a matter of hours, Taylor.
Fair.
So, are we ready to continue?
All right.
I think so. Clace, you good?
I love the ear droops. I do too. They're just adorable.
Those
How you
shots
doing,
went
Baxter?
straight to my head, but yeah, I couldn't turn down free drinks. Not from the owner.
You know, they could have just given you a bottle for later.
I'm gonna say something controversial here, but I think we should let Chiron come back home with us.
It's a risk, but probably a necessary one.
Really?
Yeah. If Argus is after us, that means they're after him too. We can't just let him go off on his own. It feels wrong. Even if the chance is minimal, we shouldn't take it.
So you think the chances of coming across a problem are worse by not having him with the group?
I don't know about that, Isaac.
If he's caught, then we're the next people they'd come for. We need to stick together like we always planned. Remember? If we go down together.
If you say so. But that pride is going to be the death of you.
You know, Dante has a point, Isaac. You have been a bit prideful and a bit narcissistic, especially with all of these tricks you've been doing with your Argus hardware.
Trust me, I'm counting down the days. But, looks like you got lucky, Chiron. You
No.
finally get to come over.
People I trust never have to say trust me. That's just my opinion.
Under the most auspicious circumstances, too. We just better hope that Argus doesn't come knocking. I'm not quite close enough to take a bullet for any of you.
You know, Chiron being born on the colonies is clearly educated. Makes me think that Argus is just a redundant system of society that doesn't need to be there.
Don't worry, I'm pretty quick on my feet. We might have to worry about Taylor, though.
Hey, I'm nimble.
You're a bunny, of course you are. Clace looks really nervous and tugging on his scarf.
Any chance we could talk about dying a little less?
Seconded.
Thirded.
Fine. The rest of the route is pretty simple, actually. Just follow me and we'll be home in no time.
We have accidentally whacked a wasp nest, and now we don't know if those insects are flying after us. We start to follow Isaac, and my mind is racing. Everything makes sense, but it's also scary and risky. Bringing Chiron home so early on? That wasn't part of the plan. But he was right. We couldn't just give him that phone, then ditch him. Especially because things were going differently than we anticipated. He was one of us now. We had to take care of him and treat him as such. A contingency plan? Even if that means making a dangerous move. Our fear could be a self-fulfilling prophecy that tips Argus off. But I'd never forgive myself if we left Chiron and something bad happened to him. This is our responsibility now. That's what I repeat to myself as we make our way home with an abundance of caution. The only thing that could save us is the resolution of the protests that rage on. It was like a coin that was in the air and slowly falling down. We just have to hope that it lands on the right side. Not just for us, but for the sake of everybody. Whew! That's some riveting storytelling, isn't it, chat? I love this. This is like engaging. Like, you know there's tension, you know there's nervousness, you know there's some serious situations going on, but I think it's pretty awesome. As soon as we arrive home, we head to the kitchen. Just as expected, there's no beep or announcement when Isaac unlocks the door. I assume that he put his mods back in place after Dante last removed them. It's weird how far removed we are from that initial conflict. Back then, those mods seemed to be a major cause of quarrels in the house. But things have certainly changed over the last week or so. For everybody. When I stop to think about it, though, it's still the same central conflict. It all boils down to how much we're okay with Argus being in control. It's still an issue that boils down to society clashing with the system. At least now, with people in the streets, things are changing. For the first time, public opinion is moving in favor of the Zeros. It's like seeing these people and their plight changed minds. I've said it before, but it's a lot easier to fight and discriminate against a concept. That's what the Zeros were most useful to of us until a couple of weeks ago, a concept. Something intangible, a convenient target for judgment and hatred. Thankfully, me and the group were level-headed and capable of that hate. Especially not toward a group of people who are just think differently than us. I wish the people in power were as impartial as we were. Though I guess the calling us impartial is kind of stretching the truth. Our allegiance is clearly with the Zeros and against our world powers. I guess it was better to say that we sided with justice and equality for all.
Well, I think we can strike all worry from the record.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. I just feel like bringing Chiron home was the ultimate test. Talking outside or in a cafe just doesn't seem as wrong. But now we're definitely abetting him. So there's that. If they were watching us, they'd be waiting for a slip-up, something they could pounce on and use to take us down. But we seem to be fine. There's definitely been no pouncing tonight.
Thank goodness.
Looking to change that?
Excuse me, Taylor.
Silence.
Leave it to Taylor to make anything thirsty. But, speaking of thirst, you all down for another beer?
Wow. Wow, chat.
That's the one in the can, right?
Usually. I guess it depends on your preference. We could pour it out on the sidewalk if you'd rather use your fingers.
No, let's not drop to that level of low.
Dante,
Again.
come on.
Oh, bad joke?
Yeah, very bad joke.
Actually, it was pretty good. Something tells me I'll never live that one down.
Yeah, you probably won't. Hold on. I'll go grab the drinks.
I'm fine with that one if that's okay. I think I had a few too many at the Wayfarer.
You know your limits.
Generous proprietor, huh?
That's one way to put it. He said he'd hook me up if I ever came back, too, but I don't think I'll get the chance. Work wouldn't allow it.
Oh, dear. Dante returns the beers and places them in front of us. Except for Clace, who already seems intoxicated enough.
Is work really that restricting?
Sounds like it.
I'm probably downplaying it, to be honest. They basically have to approve my every action. This hiatus is killing them. I can almost feel it. But I promised them more albums and tours in exchange, so that's what sold them. They'd never let me do this for the fun of it. Everything I do usually comes down to, is this making the label money?
Or costing them money, in this case.
In this
Yeah,
case.
I had to cancel a lot of interviews to make this happen. That's why we had the nightclub to ourselves as well. It was going to be used for an autograph session.
Ah. An autograph session is always fun. You know, autographs, those are great. Handshakes, hugs. I usually like bonding with people as people and not just putting them on some sort of pedestal or in a spotlight. I had the chance to meet some very amazing people, but I see other human beings as equals.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that. How much money did that cost the label?
Is this a question you really want answered, Dante?
No idea, but I'd guess a lot. It's not even a good way to meet fans either. Most people just want the signed photo so they can sell it.
Oh yeah, that's a bunch of horse shit right there. I've seen that happen to Mark Hamill. There was a YouTube video or whatever, or Reddit video, where a bunch of people were hounding Mark Hamill for autographs, and then some sort of crappy picture, and they're trying to sell it online. I'm like, you people are jerks. At least when I got autographed documents, I got them directly from the people. I got a autograph from Johnny Young Bosch right next to him. Cool dude, by the way. Absolutely cool dude.
Yikes.
People pay money for your signature? You have it so much easier than the rest of us.
Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, I saw that video. It was so bad for Mark. I know, it's disgusting. I hate people doing that to him. And Mark Hamill's such a nice guy, too, and I felt really bad.
How can you tell what their intentions are, though? I feel like I should ask for the benefit of my own signings.
Oh, I just have to ask them who I'm signing the photo for. If they don't want it personalized, they're likely looking to sell it. At least, that's what they taught me when I was in PR training.
Gee, that sounds familiar.
PR training? Like talking to the media? Way too intense. I could never handle that.
Yeah, public relations. It's very important that you conduct yourself with dignity when speaking with, anybody in the news or social media, because anything that you say that can be used against you, even the tiniest thing, they will focus in on it with a microscope, and they will use it to find ways of making money. It's just disgusting behavior from people like that.
How do you cope?
I don't know.
There's a few moments that make it all worthwhile. And for everything else, there's vodka.
That's not a coping mechanism. Oh, God. Everyone laughs at the joke, and the rest of us raise our beer in the air.
Ready to give it a shot, Chiron?
Oh, no. Here we go.
If I had to answer based on the smell, I'd say no, but I'm not about to back down from a challenge.
Wait, the beer is not a good smell? Yeah, I'm not a fan of the smell of beer either. It gives me a headache.
And there's the toast for the night. Here's to not backing down from a challenge.
Ah.
Yeah, we stick it out to the very end.
Yep. We touch our beer cans together and each take a swig. I didn't drink that much last night, and I'm still perfectly sober. I had to take it easy since the quantum leap was coming up.
Okay, this one is actually disgusting.
Seriously?
I kind of like it.
I think Chiron has more refined tastes.
Might as well go outside and bite a pine tree.
Gotta love it.
It is not that bad.
It's
Oh my
an
God.
acquired taste. I'll give you that much.
Well, here I go acquiring.
He takes another large swig and coughs soon after. Isaac leans forward as he's about to say something important.
You want to see something cool? I've been getting the backyard ready for the party.
I still think we should have hosted it at my place. More room, and I got that pool in the back.
I will never get that thought out of my head, Chad. Equating the flavor of beer to biting a pine tree. Holy shit.
Also, it was your idea.
Yeah, that's a big one.
What, you want everyone to know where you live? I figured I was doing you a favor by hosting it here.
Fair.
Besides, I think you'll like what you see. Sharing a beer while the sun sets is a lot better than staying inside, too.
Indeed.
Can't argue with that. Go on then, Isaac. Show us the way.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny. I'm just laughing my eyes off right now. I'm sorry, chat. What a trip. Oh, hell. This looks really cool. Nice little pagoda. We make our way to the backyard, and I'm stunned by its beauty. I may not have a pool or be as fancy as Taylor's house, but it had character. And in my opinion, a character would win over any fancy tech any day. This is actually my first time in the backyard, and it's clear that Isaac cared for it. Hey, it's cozy. It's cozy. I'll definitely give it that. And if this is where we'd be ringing the new year, then I'm definitely excited. But I'm a bit uncertain if having a huge crowd over it is a good idea, but I trust Isaac. And perhaps it would even work to our benefit and let us blend in. If Argus ever did come after us, a crowded party would just be the worst place to attack. Something told me that if they wanted to deal with us, they'd do so in private.
So, you like it? I've been working on it all week. Had a few coworkers help me out too.
Hey, I'll definitely give it a thumbs up or some kind of thumb because I can't move my thumb with this thing. Anyway.
It looks awesome. Definitely gives me some colony vibes. Everything else in the city is way too bright and high-tech.
You should see Taylor's house sometime.
Guessing it's the opposite of this? If that's the case, I think I'll pass. The jet is already fancy enough.
Mm-hmm. It's like biting down on, dark chocolate.
And to think, I was about to ask you over for a date.
Of course you were, Taylor.
How about we do it at my place instead? We can set the windows to a more romantic view. Maybe the sunset, or even a city skyline.
Mm-hmm.
How about the stars? I've always found them pretty romantic, especially in the dead of night, too.
I'll let you guys do with that one as you will.
I'll have to pass on that one. Stars mean something different on the colonies. Definitely not conducive to romance.
No. We all take a seat in the gazebo type thing and start sipping our beers.
Wait, what? Stars are different for you?
The meaning of them, yeah. It's just a silly superstition anyway.
I know about that, actually. Seen a lot of people talk about it online.
Have you?
Anyone care to elaborate?
The kings of the past live up in those stars.
That's
Or do
nothing
they?
special, but sure. In the city, when someone dies, you say they return to the earth. But on the colonies, it's the opposite. We say they return to the stars.
Called it.
Okay, that sounds so much cooler. Can't believe I've never heard it before.
I'm surprised Isaac has, honestly. There isn't much mingling between our two worlds.
I'm just a jack of all trades, I guess. Pick up a lot of random facts in retail. Like I always say, people love to talk.
That's definitely true, and especially for me working retail for over half my life.
Do you ever do it then? Gaze up and remember?
Kind
Oh
of.
yeah, all the time. At the very least, it's still a pretty sight.
So you're saying all our friends and family are out there somewhere?
The memories of them.
Yeah, we're cosmic beings, and this body is just a simple stop. Once it expires, we keep on sailing that vast sea of stars. So even if we feel alone, we never truly are. Get it?
That feels very Lion King-esque.
It's definitely gotten. Makes our views seem super depressing, though.
Yeah, return to the earth, it's kind of stupid. Yeah, trampling all over everyone that came before you. Nah, I'd rather look up and know they're out there somewhere.
That's fair.
Do you think they're watching us? To see what we've become?
Maybe, but I wouldn't be offended if they aren't. I imagine that limitless opportunities open up when we die. Looking back at Earth is probably the last thing on their mind.
The Earth is but an infinitesimal dot. There's so much more to explore.
I guess it depends on the person.
But I think the exploration of life should be done with people you love.
Probably. Anyway, Taylor, remember how you said the dead of night? At least you know how it got that name. A simple superstition.
Well, I'm sorry for suggesting something like that. In the city, we just look at the stars and see infinite potential. The chance to make a wish, especially with someone we love.
Aw.
Kind of sounds like the two go hand in hand. Making a wish under the watchful eyes of our lost loved ones? And if we're in love, then sharing that wish with a partner? Makes total sense why we'd see it as romantic.
Wow. What a way to put that there, Dante. Shanio, hello. It's good to see you last night. Trying to play some Fortnite with Hiro Corgi and friends. Although we didn't succeed with the Victory Royale, I still think I had a lot of fun.
Speak for yourself, Dante. I don't want my dead ancestors watching me make out. It's enough having the eyes of Argus on me all the time.
Yes.
I don't think they're literally watching. I think it's more like a spiritual connection that's still in place. When all of us are gone, we'll still be connected by the stars.
Well, thank you for the headpads. We're connected by our memories of each other. And the energies of the universe. Stars had to collide and die so that we could exist. So, in essence, we're all stardust, Chad.
Almost like a constellation of our own. It's pretty cool, actually. Kind of looking forward to it.
Yep. It was really cool to see you on this stream. Yeah, it was. I love Hiro Corgi. Hiro Corgi is such a sweetheart.
Looking forward to dying?
It's not quite what he meant.
More like looking forward to absolute freedom. Plus, an author dying has never really hurt their career. I'll be touching more minds and hearts than I ever could while I'm alive.
There is some truth to that. A book or a story is looking into the past, but it's also looking into the minds of another person, right? To read a book is to have a conversation with someone you've never met. That's kind of poetic, don't you think?
As morbid as it is, you have a point. I imagine I'll blow up a bit after dying too.
What about you, Clace? Ever thought about that stuff?
Not really.
Really? Never thought about the legacy you'd leave behind?
This is the thing that I've brought up from time and time again. That life is about legacy, what you leave behind.
I guess I'm just too busy to think about that kind of stuff. But trust me, this hiatus has my mind going to a lot of new places.
The journey.
And you like what you've been experiencing?
There's a lot of different things.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a cocktail of adventure. And by now, we're all done sipping our beers. Chiron has stopped objecting to the taste. He must have acquired it. Or maybe he's just intoxicated enough that the taste doesn't matter. Oh my god.
Is it okay if I go and get some sleep? We'll be back out here partying in a few days anyway, right?
Oh, of course. Don't feel pressured to stay awake. I can tell it's been a busy night for you.
Hello, Annabeth. Welcome on in. My name's Justin. Nice to meet you. We were playing Komorebi today. Metamorpheus. Well, it's kind of ironic for this character considering the VA voiced Shinji, a character who is depressingly existential. Which character are we talking about, Metamorpheus? You have something for me? Now you've piqued my interest.
Yeah, it's been a while since I sang like that. Reminds me of how tiring being on tour is.
Picked a pretty good song, too. I heard some of it on the way out.
Oh, have you?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Still can't believe you sang your own song. Isn't that a little self-serving?
It's not self-serving to sing your own Sean. Shinji Ikari, the protagonist of Neon Genesis Evangelion. I apologize. Which voice actor? I don't remember the character. I'm feeling stupid at the moment.
Like that, Isaac, I promise. Besides, I serviced myself enough last night anyways.
What?
I'll be honest, I've not watched Neon Genesis Evangelion.
What?
Wait, what, huh? Clay stands up and wobbles like the booze hit him all at once. I jump up and wrap my arm around him. He seems pretty embarrassed.
Delta, just the person I wanted to see. Mind taking me back to my room for a little chat?
Sure. Okay.
Whoa, I'm kind of jealous.
Guess you'll be raising your hand next time too then, Delta.
Lol.
Oh, it's not like that, I promise. We've just both made big moves, you know? It helps to talk with someone in a similar situation.
That's fair.
I was only joking anyway. Sorry if you're having a hard time.
No.
It's okay, Taylor. I know you well enough by now. Anyway, guess we'll see you all tomorrow?
Yes. RMB, the Netflix dub subtitles caused a mini uproar within the fandom? Yes. I prefer dubs to subs. Subtitles are distracting. Mentally distracting, because I have to read what's on the screen, and it flows by so fast that I don't get a chance to see the action going on. So, to do dubs, to listen to a voice actor saying those lines in a language that I understand, to me makes more sense. Everyone looks at each other, and then Dante grins.
Raise your hand if you want to go pass out.
Yeah, that's definitely something I want to do, but I have to work today.
Already? Really? The night was just getting started.
Oh.
I think it's a good time to cut things short, actually. That walk home really took it out of me.
That's fair.
Yeah, and the anxiety certainly didn't help. But this was supposed to be a low-energy night anyway. Gotta conserve some of our power for New Year's Eve.
This is true.
Boring.
Yeah, everything's boring to you, Taylor.
It's 4 days away, man. We can go back inside to hang out, but I'm all done partying. Wouldn't want to have too much fun without Clace and Delta anyway.
Considering that within this game it's Friday, December 27th, and there's no snow on the ground, which probably means they live near the equator.
Fair.
Or they live on the opposite side of the globe. Everyone raises their hand as if agreeing with Dante's earlier prompt. Empty beer cans are thrown in the recycling bin before we re-enter the house. As we all split up, however, I stick with Clace and take him to his room. My curiosity piqued. I wonder what he wants to talk about. As we make our way to his room, the chatter and laughs fade to silence. It's replaced by vibrations in my pocket. It must be using the group chat. I usually watch subs or raw Japanese. Very few times I watch dubs. I hold firm that Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the best dubs in the 90s anime. I think it was mentioned they lived in Canada. Yes, Clace is a Canadian, indeed. That also explains the spelling of the words on the screen. Personally, I've heard dubs over subs too. It wasn't until I watched Demon Slayer until I realized I prefer the voices in Japanese. See, Toronto, if I recall correctly. Yes, you are correct. Alrighty. We got a few more minutes. And let me see here. What do? I'm going to click save because I'm paranoid. As soon as we enter the room, Clace makes sure to shut the door behind us. Ooh, okay. A few moments later, he turns around to face me. He looks completely sober.
Sorry, I wasn't even really that drunk. I just needed to get away from everything, you know?
Oh, that's fair. I'm not sure I know, so I just shrugged.
Don't you find it all a little suffocating, Delta? I mean, this fresh start could just put you behind bars. And my little hiatus, instead of inspiring me, could end my career.
I trust that will come out on top. There's no need to worry.
I wish you could spare a bit of your confidence. Tonight was just one panic attack after another. Argus could be waiting around every street corner.
I do not fear a corporation. He takes out his phone and unlocks it.
Did you know that Cypher isn't the first group to oppose Argus? I've actually been looking into the history of all this. You know, the fight to make Zeros more equal.
We should have been equal to begin with. Cypher isn't the first organization to try. Actually, I'm kind of not surprised. Ronnie Noodles, hello. Greetings and welcome to your day. How are you doing, my friend? Well, they've definitely gotten farther than any other group, that's for sure.
It seems that way, but there's just no way to confirm it. Any information about the groups before Cypher is impossible to find.
Yes.
I can only see that the heads of those groups were apprehended. And never seen again.
Oof. What?
There's not a single mention of them after they were taken in. But that's not normal. It's like a scrub job, and a thorough one at that. I recognize the pattern because I've seen it happen in the idol business.
Past dubs, debatably not as good as today's dubs, but then again, it depends on the material you're dubbing for, and certain enemies will fit for certain voice direction. Yes. Voice direction should be about emphasis and passion in how you speak your words. Because there's too many animes out there that are just, like, quickly done, where they're just speaking their lines and saying words as opposed to, like, really feeling the words coming out of their face.
I think we're climbing the wrong tree, Delta. And every moment that passes, we get too high to jump back down. It's more than I bargained for, and I just don't know what to do.
We should trust Isaac. He'd never put us in any danger like that.
Are you sure about that, though? Or, I mean, maybe he doesn't know about the danger. We may be smaller scale than Cypher, but we're rebelling all the same.
This is true.
If this doesn't end in favor of the Zeros, we'll be in trouble. I think Isaac is operating under the hope that Cypher will win, but after looking into the history of these organizations, I'm skeptical. It's very likely that Argus already knows who the leader of Cypher is. And I bet they'll disappear without a trace, too. But Argus won't back down. Any investigation, however small, has a chance of being traced back to us.
We shouldn't feel bad. We're fighting for what's right.
But it's against all odds, and that's what worries me. Being a martyr is admirable and all, but not if the people forget you. They could take us out and then scrub our identities from existence.
They could scrub your identities digitally, but how people remember you, that will stay the same.
In the backyard, they were talking about legacies to leave behind. But we're up against Argus. They can snap a finger and we're just gone. No legacy, no martyrdom. We just messed with the wrong group and paid for it.
There's no sign that we're in any danger. Not at all.
Well, the anxiety of not knowing is really killing me. I'm just not sure if I'm supposed to be part of this group. If we're all caught, then my career would be over and I'd disappear.
I really don't think that Argus is coming after us, Clace.
You don't know how many times I've wanted the turn in Isaac. How many times I've written the text and had my finger over send. It's not easy, living like every day could be your last. It's terrifying.
Place.
But there's a reason I haven't done it yet. There's a reason I've stuck by your side, and everyone else's. I think my instinct to turn and run is just one the label forced on me. Like I said, if we were caught, then my career would probably be over. It says a lot that I care more about my career than I do about myself. They taught me to put that first, since it's the real moneymaker. I'm always scared to do things because of how they'd affect my image. Even if they're things I want, and things I know would make me happy. That's why I haven't turned on Isaac. It's what the label would want.
I see your point, Metamorpheus.
But it's not what I want.
What is it that you want?
And I struggle
Place?
with that every single day. Especially since this hiatus has let me taste independence. Whether we're caught or I go back to work, I'll lose it either way.
Your career wouldn't end if we're caught.
I find that hard to believe. There's not much love in the world for those who defy our leaders. Especially for those who build a platform and use it for subterfuge.
I don't defy leaders. I stop following them. Remember, public opinion is with the Zeros, not Argus.
I guess you're right.
If Cypher wins, you'd be seen as a hero or a pioneer.
A hero?
Yeah, if Argus loses, then we won't be the bad guys.
I guess I just find it hard to believe that we'll come out on top. But you're right. If the tables turn, we'll be on the other side. I'm only just scared because they haven't moved yet.
They will soon. Remember what Hermes demanded.
Yeah, a revolution by giving out phones to all the Zeros. They're giving Argus the chance to do it first, but I don't think they will. I'd hate it so much if Zeros dying of starvation was the catalyst for change.
So, to folks in channel, please communicate in English. That is the rules in our system here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask a moderator, okay?
Because then, how do you decide how many lives are enough? At what point would Cypher realize it's time to take action? That both sides see any lives as expendable is just awful.
So, anyway, let's see how far we can get here.
But it's the world we live in.
It is the world we live in. But the world can change. It's in our hands, not in the corporations. With a contrasting smirk, he gives me a playful nudge.
If this all goes our way, I definitely wouldn't mind being called a hero. And it's good that we're close. Every hero needs a good sidekick, right?
I can tell that I've been giving him enough affirmation. His doubt moves aside of him met with optimism. It's a trait that was definitely lacking before we started talking.
So, can I trust in you then? If I'm ever in trouble, you'll come to my rescue?
Okay. Marcus, you're being timed out because we do not speak Russian in channel. We speak English. That's your second warning. One more, and you're gone. I figure to be the hero that rescues the sidekick, actually.
I guess it could go both ways. Then we're more like a team.
He looks happy, but also contemplative.
Every good team needs a name, though.
He's clearly having a hard time thinking of a name, so I decide to step up. Given our interactions thus far, I have a pretty good idea for our team name. Remember, lost and clueless. I hold out my hand.
Lost and clueless, huh?
He smiles and gives my hand a firm shake.
Seems to describe a lot of us these days. But I'm starting to see the light on the other side. Maybe Isaac is right. Maybe we will be fine. And even if we aren't, at least I've got my sidekick. Gotta say, always liked the idea of my own knight in shining armor. Thanks for the chat, Delta. I knew you'd be the right choice.
Fish out of water, right?
But getting used to it more and more. If I ever need someone to talk to again, I'll let you know. That diary isn't exactly the best at giving me advice in return.
It's a memoir of things that happened. I nod and smile, sensing that the conversation has reached its natural end. With a quick goodnight, he jumps into bed. I take it as my cue to leave. I do. I love Clace too. Clace is such a sweetheart. But on the way out of his room, something catches my attention. His diary is resting on a desk that's placed against one of the walls. Around it are wearing amounts of empty booze and pill bottles. Oh dear, that's not good. I immediately avert my gaze as if it's none of my business. But then I immediately look back, a little shocked and worried. It was clear that this was taking a toll on him, and I hated to see that. But I can't start doubting him. I have to believe in him and his words. We are a team now, after all. He'd never turn us in just to save himself. At least that's what I chose to tell myself as I leave him on his own. In an effort to cleanse my mind, I check the phone as soon as I leave the room. It looks like it's business as usual, but I don't think anyone knows how Clace truly feels. Right now, the main concern is that Dante left his wallet at the Wayfarer. Oh dear, not again. He certainly seems forgetful, doesn't he? Now that I know more about him, though, I offered to pick it up in the morning. It was a keepsake, and it clearly had meaning to him, despite it seeming otherwise. He thanks me, and I return to my room. Like the last time, I plug in my phone and stare up at the ceiling. But fatigue doesn't take me. It's replaced by a new wave of worry. I worry about what might happen to my friends. But I realize that we're all on the same team. We're in this together. I cling to that feeling of togetherness, hold it deep into a sleepless night. More like a team. A lost memento. A newfound fear. Let's see, we'll do another save here. I think we can go a little bit later just to see what this session with our counselor is going to be all about. I sit in my chair, bouncing my leg up and down in a state of anxiety. A restless night. I definitely hate to add more of those to the pile. But a lot of stuff is happening. Stuff I can't even talk about.
Well then, you definitely seem nervous. Is everything all right, Delta? What's bothering you?
I just didn't get any sleep last night. That's all.
I see. Bad dreams, perhaps? Those can easily get the better of us.
A nod, choosing to go along with the narrative he creates.
Just remember that they aren't real. Easier said than done, but it's a good starting point.
He scribbles down notes in my file. I wonder what he's saying about me in there. I'm sure he's trained to discern whether his patients are lying.
You know, specters of the imagination can easily be our greatest foes. Not quite real enough for others to take notice, yet real enough to be all-consuming.
There is truth to that.
Try not to let this get to your head, Delta. You've made remarkable progress since we first met.
Progress, in a sense. It continues to scribble notes. I appreciate the validation.
A lot of people have a hard time adjusting to a new life. It's not exactly easy to leave everything behind, so I commend your resolve.
I suppose he sees this as an off day for me. Maybe it is.
This reminds me of an interesting thought exercise. Have you ever noticed how we remember dreams backwards? That final moment upon waking is the one that sticks with us the most. Then we piece it together bit by bit, retracing our steps the other way. Fragments of lingering memories scattered about, complete yet not quite whole. That is how people describe the feeling of Komorebi. Their visions may be one moment, but they still carry memories. How old you are in your vision is almost as important as the vision itself.
Indeed. Interesting.
Imagine if your consciousness was thrust forward 30 years. You'd be a completely different person. The way you think and act. Kind of like how your bad dream affects the way you feel right now.
How do you discern the difference between Komorebi and a dream?
But then, imagine that on repeat, almost every single day. You may never experience Komorebi, but this could help you understand it. And understanding it might help you relate with your friends a little bit more.
Possibly. He gives me a wide smile, like he's super satisfied with his words. The thought of being lost in time scares me, and it makes me worry for my friends. Being forced into the future, being forced to carry years of false memories? suspect would really mess with your sense of past, present, and future.
I suppose this is where I tell you that you might be cleared as a patient soon. So if there's any final advice I can give you, I feel obligated to do so.
Really? I'm actually kind of surprised.
The mental health of my patients is my greatest concern. Unfortunately, there are others who could benefit more from my time.
I can understand that, but suddenly I'm filled with sadness. This was an invaluable resource that I should have been able to make use of. It's awful how I can't tell him what I'm really feeling, what I've been really doing. It hurts that I might need the help, for he is no longer feels willing to offer. I think that in the sense, these sessions aren't so much about what's going on, but how I can approach situations with a different mindset. To be able to put your mind together and approach things in a very unique situation. I don't think he cares about what's happening to me exclusively or specifically, but rather how I approach situations. That's his concern. The parting gift of useful advice during our final sessions is appreciated. It's what I saw him as in the first place, after all, a mentor figure.
The offboarding process is quite simple. I just need 2 more sessions to determine if my decision is final. A lack of issues to talk about is a pretty good sign in your favor, though.
An apparent lack, more like. I noticed that I've stopped bouncing my leg up and down. It's like my body is at ease knowing that I might be cleared soon. If that happened, I'd never be able to figure out what I've been up to. However, my mind is far from the opposite. It's interesting how our body can clash in such a way. Feeling ease but unease at the same time. Is there a word for that?
Moving along. Did you see the latest August keynote? A little odd that they didn't talk about the protests.
They didn't?
Although this nostalgia technology seems quite interesting. Even if it might be decades away, it's still a nice concept. From a purely therapeutic perspective, of course.
Rockstar 3 million, welcome to the Lion's Den. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're enjoying your day so far. My name is Justin. Nice to meet you. I'm playing Komorebi today. That sounds vaguely familiar, yet I can't remember why. Didn't August mention nostalgia during their anniversary report as well? I asked him to elaborate, but he's cut off before we can speak. His phone rings.
Excuse me for a moment.
He takes his phone out of his pocket and accepts the call.
Yes? What is it?
He looks around the room as he speaks. It's almost like he's frightened by who he's talking to.
No, it's all going well.
He gulps.
Of course. I'll make sure that it gets taken care of.
Oh boy.
No, I wouldn't dream of it. Like I said, it's all going well.
That's a change of pace there. There's something weird going on. He locks eyes with me. For some reason, I'm terrified. I'm used to seeing him calm and collected. This is very unsettling. But he doesn't look that way. It's almost like he's judging me.
The 5th, you said? Very well.
He breaks eye contact. I feel like I can breathe again. It's clear that his conversation is over, and he nods once more.
Yes. Our future. Your way.
I don't like those words. He hangs up and smiles at me. A nervous smile.
Delta.
I gulp.
Do you mind if we pick this up tomorrow? I can pencil in another session. Something has come up.
What's come up? I feel like I don't have a say in the matter, so I nod.
Thank you for being accommodating. I'll make sure that tomorrow goes a little better. Let's hope you get a good night's sleep, too.
Oh my goodness. Without another word, he looks down at his phone and starts tapping away. I take that as a sign to leave and make my way toward the exit. I can't shake this feeling, the awful paranoia. But I promised I'd pick up Dante's wallet, the Wayfarer. I have to follow through. I wouldn't want to let him down. But returning to the scene of the crime? It's scary. Oh well. Here goes nothing. Does that make your chest thump a little bit? I don't know. It's the 28th. New Year's is coming soon. I'll push the stream just a little bit further, but I don't want to be late for work. thank you for the drink. Thank you for the hydrate. I enter the Wayfarer, passing the outdated security scan with ease. Good to know that it's not updated yet, in case we ever decide to come back here. It also gives me a sense of comfort that nobody was tipped off last night. We are in the clear. After approaching the bar, the proprietor walks toward me. My heart begins to race. For some reason, I felt like I was about to get caught, like our actions would catch up to us. Demon of Money! Welcome to the Lion's Den. Thanks for coming in. Nice to meet you. However, with a friendly smile and a brief conversation, they hand back Dante's wallet. Thank you for the hydrate and the head pats. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we just passed over 5,400 followers, chat. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Of course, not without a comment about how outdated such an item is. I do have to work, but not until like 1:45, so I got about an hour and a half. An odd thing for someone to say when they pride themselves in their outdated aesthetic. I laughed to myself, realizing that everything was fine. I was probably just being scared after what Clace told me about the previous rebel groups. Of course, as I make my way to the exit, everything changes. Out of the corner of my eye, I see somebody standing there, staring. I turn to face them, but much to my surprise, I see nobody there. Huh? My heart sinks to my stomach, but I'm relieved that I was seeing things. That is, until I close my eyes and shake my head. It should have granted me clarity. What the fuck? But instead, I see them again. I lock up in fright and start to tremble. I know exactly who they are. They're an agent of Argus. We lock eyes. They give me a sinister smile. In this exact moment, it feels like our link is undeniable. I want to look away, and I'm almost physically incapable. It feels like a chase could begin with any sudden movement, like I'm some sort of prey. I suppose we are with what we've been up to lately. Is this when it comes to an end? A moment later, their sinister smile turns into something more warm and friendly. They tilt their head behind them as if signaling me to look. It's the back door. The very same one that we used to sneak Chiron in last night. They must know. Then they hold up their hand. The sight before me almost makes my heart stop. Resting in their palm is a single glistening apple. Are they mocking me? The back door, the apple. Symbols of our treason. My treason. There's no way. What the fuck? Just then, someone bumps into me and I stumble back. They apologize and move on. I hate that glitch that happened in my playthrough. Oh my god. What the fuck is going on with the music, man? But when I turned to look at the back door again, the agent was nowhere to be seen. A wave of relief crashes down upon me, but worry still lingers. I may be safe now, but that moment changed everything. Perhaps it was meant to be a portend, a warning not to continue. Or perhaps the stress was getting to me and it was simply my imagination. Either way, I take out my phone and text everybody. Meet me in the plane, immediately. All of you. What the fuck is going on? What? What is going on with this? Oh my god. I wish with all my heart that what I saw in the Wayfarer wasn't real. But at the same time, with everything going on, it was too important to ignore. In a state of anxiety, I hide in the plane and wait for my friends to arrive. Thankfully, there's plenty of snacks and drinks in the plane. A bit stale, like Chiron mentioned, but satisfying nonetheless. If we ever needed to truly hide, this would be our best bet. I'm in danger. I can't shake this feeling, though. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Was I bottling everything up for so long that it's finally escaping? No, it couldn't be. I'll talk with all my friends. They'll put my mind at ease.
Hey, Delta! Sorry to keep you waiting. Figured I'd round everyone up and drive here together.
Yes.
Can't believe he convinced me to get in that death trap.
It's not a death trap,
It's homey.
Death trap?
If your idea of a home is a torture chamber, sure. Can't believe people used to drive around in things like that.
Oh my god.
Like I keep saying, you'll thank me for having it one day.
Mm-hmm.
That day is not today.
Nope.
Anyway, what's up? That text was kind of worrisome.
For good reason. I saw an Argus agent.
You mean just minding their own business, right?
I say nothing.
Right?
I shake my head.
What happened exactly?
I saw them at the Wayfarer when I picked up Dante's wallet.
Oh, I'll take that back, by the way.
Yes, please. Yeah, it's all yours. I nod and toss him the wallet. He catches it with ease. They were standing by the back door staring at me.
That doesn't mean they were after us, though. Maybe they realized someone snuck in there and upped the security.
They stared directly at me and held up an apple.
That is problematic.
That doesn't make sense. It's too perfect?
I am very curious.
Remember what I said last week? Argus cracks down immediately. They wouldn't let us wander.
Yeah, they don't seem like the type to play mind games like this. If they were on our trail, we'd already be locked up.
Yeah. This doesn't seem like an agent of Argus. This seems like an outsider looking in, trying to stir things up. Maybe a third party? Who knows?
But don't they have bigger fish to fry? You know, like with Hermes and Cypher? I kind of figured we were small time compared to that.
I feel like they don't believe me. Is it worth the risk to just disregard this?
Oh, we're not disregarding it. It just feels like we're missing a piece of the puzzle.
Maybe they think we're caught up with Hermes? They could be gathering intel before they act.
Indeed.
You mean during the con next week?
If they want to abide by his timeline, yeah. I really hope we're not caught in the crosshairs here.
Call me paranoid, but I just knew something would happen. Everything was going way too smoothly.
Indeed.
They were probably onto us from the start.
Oh boy, who knows?
Are we gonna get in trouble?
I sincerely hope not. Okay.
You might, but I don't know about me. I feel like I'll just get kicked out and go back to my normal life.
You instill us with so much hope.
Just part of the job. But you can't say I didn't warn you about this. Remember, I told you about my vision. Still on the colony.
What about Isaac's, though?
Has he actually told you what it is?
Has he?
What do you mean?
Did he tell you what it is? Or did you just take his word for it?
I don't like what you're implying.
Just speaking my mind, that's all. Don't really have a stake in all this business. I'm only here to enjoy life in the city for as long as I can.
I won't even consider it an option.
What are we considering exactly?
Clay seems a bit lost in his diary, scribbling notes once more.
That Isaac lied about his vision and lured us into a dangerous situation. Or that he could be lying about any number of things he's said.
That seems too flip-flop.
It could be Clay's too.
Huh?
Always staring at us, taking notes.
Okay, now you're just joshing.
I'm not taking notes.
What are you writing in there then?
It's my diary.
Isn't that kind of the same thing?
And you won't mind if I take a look.
Chiron walks towards Clace like he's on a mission. Almost immediately, however, Isaac blocks his path.
Chiron, stop. That's not how things work around here. In the city, we trust our friends until they give us a reason not to.
None of you see any reason.
I don't really see one.
I don't think we're being deceived, Chiron. If we get in trouble, it's just because we slipped up.
Chiron is suspicious, but he grew in a very stressful life, so I don't blame him. Chiron scoffs.
You trust too easily. It's a recipe for disaster, but I'm the odd one out, so I'll take your word for it.
Good. Just calm down, everybody.
Chiron takes things with a grain of salt, which a little skepticism is a good thing. I notice that Clace looks terrified, clutching his diaries to his chest.
Everything is gonna be fine. I promise. Delta, what you saw is alarming, but it's not a death sentence.
Why would they kill you for something as innocuous as what was going on.
How so?
We're still safe. We can keep it that way. From this point on, we don't leave each other's sides.
Considering all the things that happened and all the things that Isaac had done, it's not a death penalty worthy crime. At worst, it might be a fine. I don't think things will get this serious.
Ooh, does that mean we get to sleep together too?
Shut up, Taylor.
Taylor,
Sorry.
if Argus is watching us, then we can't split up anymore. In fact, letting Delta go get your wallet was probably too risky.
He looks at Dante, who simply nods.
Works for me.
What about my streams?
We'll
What
just
about him?
chill in your living room or something.
And Delta's counselor sessions?
We can wait outside. I said we wouldn't split up. We'll all still be close by.
Indeed.
I like the sound of that, actually. Makes me feel a lot more safe.
Group camping session. Everybody gets to sleep in the same tent.
Then I get to come to the Quantum Leap?
Sure, why not?
I suppose you do.
Seems like a win-win to me. Maybe you hook me up with that group chat too?
Couldn't hurt at this point. Thanks for the head
It
pats.
seems like we don't
Thank
really have a
you.
choice.
That's Kimi. This is all happening so suddenly, but seeing that agent was sudden too. Sticking as close together as possible makes sense, at least in my head. We could all be on the lookout, so we'd be a bit safer. Reminds me of those dumb characters in horror movies that always split up. It's a lot easier for the enemy to take us down one by one. Comparing my life to horror? Fantastic. Also, I don't think one of us is a traitor or lying in any way. But by sticking together would eliminate the possibility of shady activity. If we all kept tabs on one another, it'd be harder to do anything malicious.
But we need some ground rules. Just in case this agent thing is actually real.
Actually real? What do you mean?
I mean, I hate to say it, but we didn't see anything. We just have Delta's word to go off of.
Hope that everyone is having an amazing day and life continues to bless you. Thank you. Look at all those sweet little emotes. Corey KK, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Are you saying Delta's lying?
Yes.
No, perhaps they're just mistaken. I've been on edge a lot lately too, you know. Definitely thought I saw some stuff in the corner of my eye.
I did consider that it could all be in my head.
That's fair.
But that doesn't mean we shouldn't be cautious. If anything, this can just push us toward a better overall plan.
And the siren is from the real life chat, not the game.
What did you have in mind?
Well, bathroom breaks, separate beds, and stuff like that. We can still give each other alone time, just in different rooms. The security in all of our houses is good enough to make that happen.
True. If anyone comes near my house, I'll know about it.
Mine too. So those should be our safe spaces.
Agreed.
And this plane?
Could be risky. In our homes, at least we're in control. I have no idea what's going on beneath the surface here.
If they could hear us in this plane, things would have ended a while ago. Remember, this is where you told us your grand plan.
True.
Maybe that's what tipped them off.
And remember who suggested that we come here?
Excuse me? Oh, this isn't a Jacob's Ladder scenario. Don't look it up if you can't stab body horror, by the way. No. I think I get the idea, though. He tilts his head towards Clace.
Chiron, you need to stop pointing fingers. We're all in this together, and we'll keep each other safe. Besides, I know Argus will give in to Cypher's demands.
That's a lot of,
You sound
assurance.
so certain. It's almost coming off as cocky.
That may be, but I really believe it. And we can't get in trouble if this all goes our way.
I'm sensing
Like I
a little
said,
bit of
we'd
grinding
just be
here.
ahead of the curve.
Then we just need to buy time until Hermes' deadline.
How much time
I
can we buy?
suppose so. It's what we would have done anyway.
Then what's the next step?
We should go to my place. Like I said, the security is top-notch. You know how much I value my privacy.
Yes.
Yeah, don't want those wild fans to come knocking.
Yeah.
We can talk more about it there. This was all so haphazard, but I think it's a good start.
You know, it's better to be cautious. Err on the side of caution, as they say. We all look at each other and nod. Even in this new situation, it feels like we're back to square one. I just have to hope that this ends in the favor of the Zeros and, by extension, us. Because if what we did is no longer bad, then we'd be in the clear, I think. Welcome back, Wolf. But I remember some earlier discussions that Argus may have already decided in secret. If that's the case, and they're also watching us, things could already be over. Chats! What a interesting day. I have to get to work today. Tomorrow is Sunday, and we'll be streaming again at about noonish. Part 3, hard to find, easy to lose. So, we're going to have more parts to explore tomorrow. Thank you for the hydro, by the way.
Welcome to the third fragment map.
Oh my goodness. So, let's save at this fragment map here. We will get to the third fragment map tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday. At about noon Central Time, Minnesota time. Noon Central Time. We're in -6 GMT here. And I just want to say thank you guys for all the follows. Thank you for 5,400 followers. Yes, please enjoy your line plush. Oh my god. Let's go choose somebody to raid today. Thank you guys for watching and coming on in. You guys really make my day. I know that sometimes games like these aren't everybody's cup of tea, but I am personally enjoying this. And I'm really, really loving it. Let me go find a heckin' bean to send y'all to. Well, we're gonna see here. You know what? I'm gonna raid somebody that I don't think I've raided before. You guys want to go raid Papa Mutt? Papa Mutt is actually a really respected individual, and I do enjoy all of his positivity, in a sense. Let's go raid Papa Mutt and go say hi to him. And as always, no matter who you are or where you come from, you're valid and you are loved. And I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you again so much. You guys have no idea how much it means to me. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye!
Payment? Oh, it's contained. Ah!